True story, I love a good party. To the parties I've done on my own, to the years I spent as an event planner in corporate America, I have done the gamut of events. Today I am sharing a ton of tips and tricks that you can use to affordably transform a space for a party. These are hacks that I have learned over the years that really help me now get into a groove. I know all of the things that I do each and every time to make a space look awesome, but they're pretty easy, and I'll share with you some hacks on how you can do things affordably. If you are new here, my name's Whitney, this is Whiskey and Wit, and on this channel I love to share DIY and affordable home decor tips, tricks, and hacks. I also love to share Cricut tips so you know how to use your machines and get the most out of them, and also wood builds. So if you love anything DIY, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a future Whiskey and Wit video. We just hosted a lemon-themed bridal shower for my soon-to-be cousin. I've talked about it for a while, so I'm so excited to be sharing it with you. So I will be sharing a lot of those tips and tricks in regards to this theme, which is She Found Her Main Squeeze. However, you could adapt any of these, and a lot of these tips and tricks I've used for a variety of events, from birthday parties to showers, bachelorette parties, etc. So it doesn't have to be lemons. The tips can apply across the board.
The first things first, you're gonna wanna set your date, time, location, your theme, and your budget right off the bat. Your date and time, as well as your location, needs to be one of the first things that you think about, because that's going to impact a ton of other things, like when you set up, food and beverage options, the size of the room you have to decorate. You're also going to want to prioritize your different categories so you know what's most important. So I like to think of things as food and beverage, your invitations, your decor, favors if you want to do them, experiences / games and activities, and then also your gift if you are a guest at the shower. Budget both your time and your money. That way you won't look back at the end and have spent way more time or money than you thought you should have. Tip number 2 is to personalize, but the easy way. So first, look at Pinterest, Google, Instagram in the early stages of your planning, and then let it be. You will drive yourself nuts if you keep going back and looking for ideas, so just don't do it. To get the Etsy look of large signs, here's a quick hack that I've done for parties for years. I purchased a pack of lemon watercolor digital graphics from Etsy because I wanted it to match the lemon theme, and then I took those and designed some signs on Canva. I kept an eye out on Walgreens, and when they had a sale, I printed some large posters to fit in those frames. These are ones I had on hand from my wedding and past parties, but you can get them pretty affordably at Michael's. And once you order your prints, you just pop them in the frame and they look really high end. Also at Walgreens, I printed a ton of engagement photos and cute candids of the couple. I framed some and then I displayed the rest around the party. Many of the guests might not have seen those pictures, so it's a really fun conversation starter. And I also used an old window, twine, and small clothespins to clip up the photos to display them in a fun and unique way. To finish off the look, I used my Cricut and cut out Jade Found Her Main Squeeze and strung that across the top of the window. It was an easy way to personalize that decor. And another one of my favorite hacks is to print your signs at home. So again, with Canva, I went in and designed signs for the menu, guest book, the cards and gifts table, and the drinks table. I then took some Dollar Tree frames I already had on hand, I spray painted them a pretty neutral beige, and then I framed my prints. And then that leads me to number 3, put your decor to work. So those printed home signs that I did, they were awesome because they were directional and informational, but they also doubled as decor. 2 of my favorite functional decor pieces was 1, this tray. We used it as a guest book, so I got it from IKEA, personalized it with their name and their wedding date, and then all of the guests signed it. I gave it a quick spray with some polyacrylic to seal it, and they took it home as one of their gifts. I also got this picture from Hobby Lobby on sale, and then I just used my Cricut to cut out a decal with their last name and established 2021, and that's another piece that looked cute at the shower and will also look great in their home. Also, when you're thinking about decor, think about shopping your house. So things like vases, photo frames, greenery, and different signs can all make great decor. So this lantern typically is in my living room. These lemons came from my seasonal stash of lemon decor, and these frames usually have Finn's photo in them, but I borrowed them for the day. Tip number 4 is around pre-event prep. I suggest setting up the day before if you can. If you are at a place like a restaurant or something, then prep as much as you can ahead of time. We set up the day before the shower, and when the time isn't ticking down to your event, your stress will decrease. I also like to lay out my supplies at least a week ahead of time. So if you're missing something, you have time to order it, even if you need to order it to be shipped. Nothing is worse than realizing you're missing something 30 minutes before the party. Tip number 5, have one large splurge for a wow or Instagrammable moment. So maybe for you that's splurging on fresh flowers, maybe a large photo backdrop, maybe there's a food spread that's experiential with like chocolate or fondue. Whatever the case may be, just something that will bring some joy to your party. Around that though, if it's possible, think about using that additional splurge money on something that can also be reused for parties in the future. So this balloon garland was something that we wanted to do, and I knew that I could use the pump that I bought for an upcoming baby shower as well as a bachelorette party. Let me show you how we put it together. So we bought a few different packs of 12-inch balloons and used this pump from Amazon to pump them up. We did 2 at a time and used the ends to tie 2 balloons together. Once we had 2 sets of 2, we twisted the centers together and then created a grouping of 4. We continued that process till we got to about 15 groups of green, yellow, white, and gold confetti balloons. Then we took each of the groups one by one and started stringing them onto some fishing line. We had fishing line at our house because my husband likes to fish, so that's what we ended up using. You could use twine or ribbon as well, but I liked that it was invisible. We didn't have a huge plan going into it. We kind of just did what we thought would look nice, and we held it up as we went to make sure that it was the right length for the backdrop. This backdrop came from Amazon. My sister-in-law Rachel had this from her wedding last summer, so we decided to use it to have something to hook the balloon garland to. We just used the fishing line to attach it, and then we went through and filled in any open holes with some more balloons with some jute twine. Then to finish off the look, we added this really cute sign that says that Jade found her main squeeze. If you remember, I used the same process that I used to cut out the large bluey characters for Finn's birthday, so I will link a full tutorial to cut items larger than the mat down below. I went through and did the background, a craft paper color, then I cut out the leaves as well as my lemon, and I used some black cardstock to cut out the words for the top. Then after everything was cut out, I just took some Scotch tape and made everything into the shapes that they were supposed to be. So I have my offset here, which is basically the background. Then I have my lemon piece and my little leaf at the top. Then I just took some spray adhesive I got from Dollar Tree, stuck my background to some foam board, also from Dollar Tree. Then I added my yellow lemon and my leaf as well as my lettering. Then the last step was just to go through with my Arteza hobby knife and trim off any excess foam board. I added some jute twine to the back of the sign to then be able to tie it in. I just fixed that with hot glue and then put it on the sign. This worked great as a photo backdrop, and it was also an awesome focal point for the shower. Tip number 6 is something small, but it really helps me elevate the look of the parties that I throw. So level up with small details. That's what's going to take it to the next level. So I like to purchase my own helium balloon tank and balloons for the event. So all of these balloons came from Walmart, including the $25 helium tank that allowed me to fill up all of these balloons the morning of and get the look that I wanted. It really helps fill up a space, and by having your helium tank, you can get exactly what you need instead of showing up with bouquets and figuring out where to put them. I also like to decorate high traffic spaces that are usually forgotten about. So things like bathrooms, side tables, bars. I create small themed and personalized vignettes that really add to the atmosphere. So we didn't personally do any favors for this particular shower, but if that's something you want to do, I found that food and treat favors are widely enjoyed versus a trinket that probably aren't going to get used, and the food is usually the most inexpensive. And also, when you think about games and activities, they don't have to be super hard to put together or expensive. One of our favorite games lately in my family is a Name That Tune music game. So my aunt found 15 songs that had love in the title because this was a bridal shower. She played a short clip over the speakers and everybody had to guess the title and the singer of the songs. It's easy, unique, really fun, and it gets people talking at their tables. Tip number 7 is to add a soft feminine touch. I really like to use faux greenery. I love these eucalyptus garlands I found on Amazon, which I will link below. I got a 5-pack for about $20, which is a great deal, and they really helped balance out all the yellow of the lemon theme. I also really love Walmart's faux florals. I've mentioned that before, but I really like them for parties as well as home decor. If you want to go the fresh route for flowers, be sure to check out Trader Joe's. They hands down have the best prices on greenery. Number 8, consider the cost of DIY and DIY what you can't find or what you can make for cheaper. A great example are these lemon and lemonade garlands. I saw some on Etsy for $25 each and I knew I could make it myself with cardstock I had on hand. I also love the look of wood centerpieces, but I didn't want to spend a lot of time or money on them. So I used some Dollar Tree canvases, removed the burlap, glued them together, and then stained them in a really pretty dark wood. This is briar smoke from Varathane. And we used them with some of my wood lemons from a previous video. I will link that up above to create some really pretty centerpieces. Number 9 are some tips around food and beverage. So the most affordable way to really serve an entire meal is a food bar. So think about like mashed potato bar, salad bar, soup bar, taco bar, etc. For this particular event, we did small sandwiches because the event was at 1 in the afternoon, so it wasn't a meal event. And that helped because folks were able to eat, but it wasn't too much food, and that cut down on the cost as well. When you're thinking about beverages, Costco and Sam's Club are hands down a great place to get beverages in bulk. Also, if you need champagne or other alcohol for drinks like mimosa, sangria. And also, if you don't have a membership, chances are somebody in your hosting group or family does, so ask around so that you can utilize that. And tip number 10, think ahead to the next one. Now I know you are thinking, Whitney, I am just trying to get through this party, but hear me out. You will inevitably have another party that you will have to throw in the future. So now's the time to think about that. Your future self will thank you. So what I like to do is take tons of decor photos so you can remember and recreate things later. Also, save on future parties, especially if it's easier to store, by saving things like banners, extra balloons, extra napkins and plates, photo frames so you can swap things out. Think about things that you've only used for a couple hours that you can absolutely use again.
I hope you enjoyed these party tips and tricks. I absolutely love throwing parties, especially for family. I feel like it is a great way to kind of show love, celebrate folks, and I really love, obviously, DIYing for them as well. Let me know what you learned down in the comments below, or if you have another hack for a party that I did not mention, because I love learning from you guys. Thanks so much for tagging along for the shower. I absolutely loved how Jade's shower turned out, and we are so excited to welcome her officially into our family. And if you're new, be sure to hit subscribe down below so you don't miss a future Whiskey and Whit video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.